It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Croatia. It's from the Garden Brewery. Terrific brewery. This sounds interesting. It's an Imperial Blueberry, Orange Peel and Cacao Sour. It's coming in at 8% ABV. A little bit of condensation on the can where I've had it out the fridge. It's probably about 8 degrees temperature. Doesn't that sound interesting? I'm going to be honest with you guys now. I'm looking at this beer. I'm looking at the name of the beer. And I just got no idea what I'm going to get here. I understand that it's sour. It's going to be hopefully sour tasting. A sour feeling on the palate. I understand blueberry. So an Imperial Blueberry Sour, so I imagine it's going to pour out like a deep pinkish kind of blue colour. And then cacao. Cacao, which is like a chocolate. It's cocoa, isn't it? It's chocolate. So blueberry chocolate. It's going to be some kind of dessert Imperial alcohol cake that your grandma used to make, yeah, where you'd have a fruit cake and she'd be pouring blooming whiskey all over it for 6 months until it kind of almost exploded. You know, remember them old cakes years ago, the old fruit cakes where you'd pour spirit over it? That's my kind of thinking with this anyway, apart from it's going to be, well, hopefully sour. Who knows these days? Sour beers, they write the word sour on the can. Sometimes they're sour, sometimes they're not. Who knows? Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. It almost sounds like I'm being negative before the beer's being opened, but I promise you, I'm going into this review with an open mind. As always. The beer was kindly sent to us from our channel sponsor, beersofeurope.co.uk. The largest online beer store in the UK with a fabulous range of beers from all over the world. Here we go then. That's exactly what I was kind of describing, wasn't it? It was that kind of, it was either going to be dark red or a dark blue colour. There we are. That's what we have. Good levels of carbonation. It seems... Now, fingers crossed, this could be very sour. I think if this was a UK brewed beer with the words blueberry and orange peel, it might have been like a smoothie, one of those kind of smoothie style beers. But this looks more kind of traditional sour. Hazy, dark, blueberry, blackberry looking beer. Let's get the aroma. Ooh. Now then, this might actually be a proper sour beer. This has got the potential to do two things. It's either going to blow my mind or it's going to be the most disappointing thing I've ever put in my mouth. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It started off really well. Do you know when you put a sour beer to your mouth and you've got that anticipation, that kind of like, that wait for sour beer, that wait for that kind of rush of sourness, that kind of, whoa, God, that's sour. Well, that started off like that. I started off with flavours of kind of like balsamic vinegar, sharp citrus blueberry, citrus orange peel, and then I just waited. And I waited And I waited even longer for that proper sour hit that we used to get. With sour beer. I wouldn't be able to hold myself together. I wouldn't be able to have this conversation right now if I just put a proper kettle sour to my mouth. I've met the guys from Garden Brewery. I met them online. We did a kind of Stone the Crow virtual pub thing, and their beers were terrific. Absolutely wonderful. So I'm not going to blame the Garden Brewery individually here. I'm going to blame the year. I'm going to blame 2022 on the reason why this beer is not sour. 2022 has been one of the worst beer drinking years for me ever. Sour beer is not sour. We're having all of these kind of raspberry tart smoothie sours or smoothie IPAs being thrown at us. It's just not sticking for me. It's just not sticking. I remember 4 years ago when everybody was saying, oh yeah, Brute IPA is going to be the next big thing. Everybody's going to be drinking Brute IPA. Brute IPA came and went like the last train. It came, it went. The last train, it was gone. It wasn't coming back type of thing until the next day. But my point is, and this has always been my point, and I did a live feed with Brew York. Brew York were in my bar just 2 weeks ago, and we had this very discussion. I'll use that discussion as an example. So we opened up this can of, they call it juice. 8%, hazy, loads of bits in it. You're told to spin the can a couple of times before you open it. It pours out like a fruit smoothie. 8% ABV. It tasted delicious. As does this. I'm not saying for one moment that I'm disliking this beer. Let me get that out of the way completely. I'm not saying I dislike it. It's got a slight kind of balsamic vinegar taste to it. There's definitely blueberry coming through. There's orange peel coming through. A little bit of spicy pepperiness coming through. But as you can tell by my facial expressions and the way that I can just carry on talking and concentrate on my school of thought, it's not really a sour beer. Because if this was a real kettle sour, you wouldn't be able to hold yourself together. It's just way too crazy for that. So, back to my conversation with Brew York. I said to them, this whole phase of brewing needs to be renamed. It needs to have a new name. I'm not against it. I just won't drink it. I just won't buy it. It needs its own category. It needs its own name. Because it's not sour beer. It shouldn't be encroaching on sour beer. Why would you buy a Duchesse de Bourgogne? You buy it for the sourness. You buy it for that delicious, delicious sour flavour. Just... these beers are being soured And even that is a kind of bend on the rules. This beer has a sharpness from the amount of blueberry added to the beer. This beer has a sharpness from the certain amount of orange peel that's added to the beer. Sharpness from fruit and sourness is a completely different thing. It needs a name change. It needs its own category. Please, please, please stop writing sour on the cans. It's just not sour. It's not sour beer, and it's doing, quite frankly, it's doing Belgian brewers who've been brewing terrific sour beers for, sometimes they take years to brew, injustice. It's injustice on their part. The fact that they're kind of doing things in a quality manner, and then you have these quick fix beers that are pretending to be sours. Again, this is not a direct attack on the Garden Brewery. This is a direct attack on 2022 and the way it seems to be acceptable to throw these beers out there. It's like drinking alcoholic blueberry orange peel fruit juice. It's not sour beer. Not sour beer. Please stop writing sour beer on the can. It's injustice. It's complete injustice to the Belgian brewers who are doing things properly. Stop it right now. It's quite frankly annoying. It's really annoying at this stage now, because all of the excuses and all of the kind of like blah, 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 blah. It's just annoying. Really annoying. Really, really annoying. Fruity, earthy and complex. With copious amounts of sweet tart blueberries. It does. Rich cacao nibs. Can't really taste the cacao nibs. And tangy orange peel. Again, one more time, just in case the Garden Brewery think that I'm attacking them on a personal note. This is nothing to do with the Garden Brewery. This is just this kind of whole beer style in general. It needs a new name. Nobody's going to listen to me though, are they? Nobody's going to listen to me. We're just going to carry on down this road of brewing these beers until people got to vote with their feet. People got to vote with their feet, and they've got to vote with their feet in a way that, do they want to drink this stuff? Do they want to drink this stuff? Do they want to carry on drinking this stuff? If they don't buy it. I won't buy it. It's not for me. This for me, 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.